Ready, recording. All right, everybody, welcome to the LTA show. Happy 2022. I'm Felix, your host, and I got a special guest star, Dante. How are you?
Good. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. Last time we did this was summertime, I think, like early summer.
Yeah, it might have been early summer, like June or July.
Wow, it's been like what, 6 months? So I'm curious to see
Yeah.
how you've
Oh,
been.
yeah. Wow. Damn, that was fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much has happened.
How's your Christmas and your New Year's?
It was good. Christmas, got to spend it with the fam. Um, it was cool because last year, like with COVID and everything, like it was kind of hard to get everyone together, but this year we were able to get everyone. So it was nice to see everyone. What else? New Year's, I went to LA with my girlfriend's family. They celebrate Christmas on New Year's, so celebrated with them. And then that's really it. I've just been working, cycling, running when I can. It's been really busy. How about you?
I've been good. Just like enjoying my first semester at the CSU. Um, I don't know, like the transfer process was kind of hectic because like you have to go through all sorts of paperwork, making sure you got all your classes done. And like once you get in, it just like I don't know, it just felt like a like community college again. Very like chill, laid back. Um, yeah, it's a fun experience, but eventually we'll be graduating. I mean, you've already graduated, so like, how's that been like? Just been working every single day, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm working full time right now as a data analyst. So that's really fun, very challenging, I will say. Transitioning from school life to work life,
Mhm.
where you're used to working like part-time jobs and stuff, and now you're working every day for 8 hours a day. So it definitely was an adjustment period, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's fun. Learning a lot, so it's always good.
Wow. I mean, it must be kind of like stressful though, because I mean, full time, like I don't know, like I've done it before in the summer, but I just can't imagine doing it on like kind of. It does it feel weird still? Like you've graduated and you're like, you're working now, or is it just kind of normal now?
I don't know. It felt weird. I mean, there was a gap where like I wasn't working and not in school, so I guess there was really no like, I guess, drastic difference. It just kind of felt like I was just kind of, this is just kind of what I'm doing for the day, I guess. But it was just like, oh, I got work tomorrow too, and I got work the next day, and I got work the next day, and it was like, yeah, that was kind of when it hit me. I was like, damn, I'm really like not in school anymore. I really
Dang.
have to. I'm really living that adult life now. But yeah, no, but it's cool. Learning a lot. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. Do you have like any long-term goals this year or like even longer than that? Like you got any sort of goals you want to achieve or something?
Um, that's a good question. I haven't really thought about that, to be honest.
It's all
Which I
good.
don't know if that's a good thing, but I mean, just kind of like I just kind of been vibing, just taking things day by day. But yeah, what about you?
Um, the goal that I've got for this year, I mean, I told you like before the podcast, signing up for a full marathon. That one's I'm gonna be excited for, but like really nervous for because like I've done like half marathons, but like a full marathon, I don't know what that's like. And I mean, you probably got more experience than me because you've ran like three half marathons now and a full marathon, and they
Yeah.
were all in like what less than a year or in that like year frame. So I don't know. I just want to like kind of learn from you on any advice, what it's like kind of going into that marathon. I know you talked about it briefly a while back, but I
Mhm.
mean, any thoughts that come into your mind for that?
Yeah. Well, I use the half marathons as like, I guess, testers throughout my training cycle. So what I did was like I would train, like I would just do like base training for the first couple months. And it ended up being like a 6 month plan. So from June to December, December was the race. And, I went the first 2 months were just base training, strength training, just kind of trying to build that foundation. And then once I ran that first half, then I started to incorporate a little bit more speed works and like track workouts, stuff like that. And did, the two other half marathons, one in September and then the last one being in October, um, to give myself, enough space. One race a month is a pretty good way to measure because you're not racing too much, but you're doing kind of enough to get yourself an accurate measurement of, where you're at, an accurate assessment of your training to that point. And then I want to say I ran the, what was it called? The gobble wobble that
Yeah.
Arm does on Thanksgiving. Like right before, like maybe like I want to say like a week and a half before the race. That's just kind of like a little speed workout. But um, yeah, so the key is to really build that foundation early on and, incorporate time in the gym with strength training and weight room time. And then gradually just kind of build up from there, like any other training plan. But, you want to focus more on the endurance aspect of training rather than speed compared to like track and cross.
Okay. And when you were running your half marathons and comparing it to your full marathon, did you have to eat a lot of goo or like energy chews? Because I know a lot of people do that. I just wasn't sure if you had the same amount or maybe you just didn't use them at all.
So the first half marathon, actually, I want to say in the first two I used goo, and the last one I didn't. But I remember I went to Arm to get like goo gels, and they were telling me at the store, they were telling me like don't eat it until like 9 miles in. And I was like, okay. And I guess that's just because you want to like you don't really your body doesn't really need it um after like about an hour of running. But like once you hit that hour of like in high intensity running, your body will want to be, replenished in some way, make up for those missing calories. Um, but during the full marathon, I think I had two gels and I had these like stinger gummies, like these like honey flavored gummies.
Yeah.
And then they had the electrolytes and like the waters and stuff at the station. So um the full marathon you do have to take a different approach to where like you need to add as many calories as soon as possible while you're running because all of that will burn off and then you'll bonk out, if you don't replenish those calories early on, if you don't give your body enough time to process that. And after a certain amount of time, I don't know what the exact number is or how many miles in, um, your body will just stop absorbing whatever you put into it and it will just like reject whatever like you're trying to eat. So say you're like two hours in, you may be like 10 miles out from the finish, like your body isn't going to respond the same way to food as it would have in miles, um, 5 through 10, when a little bit earlier on when your body's a little bit more receptive to nutrients compared to later.
Wow. So note to self, make sure to eat enough and get a lot of energy. Because I heard a lot of people keep saying like mile 20 is when like you get like you hit the wall.
Definitely. Yeah, mile 20 is it's just kind of known as like the bunk mile, like around like some people are before, some people are after, depending on one, how you train, and two, how you hydrate and replenish your body throughout the race, like I was talking about. But um, yeah, mile 20 for me was kind of where the wheels fell off. I started to die around mile 18. Like I was hitting like sub sevens pretty consistently, and like around mile 18 is where I think I started going a little bit above seven, like a 705, 707 around there. Not too much higher, but enough to slow me down. Um, but then mile 20 is just where I completely lost it. And I was like, that last 10K took the soul out of me. And I tell people that, and I don't know. I really after that I really had no motivation to like run after, but yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of one of those things where you just kind of have to push through it and trust your training to get you to the finish.
Wow. Well, I mean, you did it though, so you achieved what many couldn't or haven't done yet. So, good for you.
Thank you.
Do you plan on doing like any other races like that or small 5Ks, 10Ks?
I would like to get back into 5Ks, I think. I mean, I haven't really been running that series since the marathon really, so it's been a few years now. But yeah, I would like to start getting into some 5Ks more. I've been really into cycling lately, so maybe try some cycling races too.
Okay, like
Yeah.
full on 100-mile bike races or like
Uh,
those small community events.
I think just starting with small community events. I'm still very new to it. I'm not very fast either, but I think the more you try, the more like the better you get at something. So yeah, I'm willing to work my way up to those 100-mile races eventually.
That's awesome. Like, what got you into cycling? Was it after you ran and just wanted something that's lighter on yourself or?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I was thinking of like alternatives to running as a way to kind of cross train. And I noticed that like cycling has helped a lot, in terms of not only maintaining like strength, but just like just feeling like I'm better balanced runner. I'll cycle for a day, like I'll go out for like a 23-mile ride and then I'll go running the next day. And then I'll just feel like very bouncy. I'll feel very like rejuvenated, like rested almost, even though I like worked so hard the day before. It didn't really feel like it. So yeah, it felt good. And it felt like a
Wow.
strong run too. Yeah. So highly recommend cycling as like a an addition to your training as well, especially for marathons.
Did you get like one of those like serious bikes or just like a average
I
bike?
have it. I have it back here. I was actually gonna ride featuring the basketball, but yeah, I went for a ride yesterday, and it's not super fancy. I mean, it's a road bike. You know, I take good care of it just so I can, eventually race those 100-mile races. But yeah, there's some that are like extremely fancy with like all the carbon fiber, like the carbon frames and stuff like that. But no, I'm not there yet. I'm not that status yet. So
So later on is what I'm hearing. You're gonna get to that level.
yeah, eventually, eventually.
That's cool. I mean, you've already ran, you biked. Are you gonna start swimming now to do a triathlon? Do all three?
Yeah, it's what people have been asking me. But I don't know. I need a pool. I don't have a pool at the moment. So
And there's some gyms out there that got some pools.
yeah, I just gotta hop on a gym membership. But once I do, maybe we'll think about it.
Okay.
Give it a
So
try.
so so once you get the pool, then you'll start considering triathlons.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, let me know. I'd love to do some running and you can just bike, just like, just chasing or something.
Yeah, for sure. I can definitely pace you too if you ever need like a pacer for a workout, like a tempo run or something.
That'd be awesome. I mean, I got like what 6 months of just training, so just with people, even like the presence just helps a lot with training.
Yeah, definitely. When is your race?
Believe it's July 24th, something like that.
Okay. Okay, so you got time.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, I wouldn't start well see, let's see. 6 months from then is this month, right?
Yeah.
So like what kind of runs are you doing right now? Or are you like just kind of
Uh,
chilling until
I've been like going for like 4 or 5 mile runs. I'm not like going super intense. I've just been like getting my feet back into it. Especially with the winter break. I've just been going really, really slow. And I'm doing like a little bit of strength training, but not as much.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, just setting the foundation is the most important part, especially like now, like in the first month of training. There's a lot of different theories to marathon training, and I don't know. It seems like everyone kind of has their own opinion, and it really depends on the person and like what their body's able to take. Because like, for example, like I can tell you like, oh, I did like a tempo run, like a recovery run, 2 long runs, and then like a track day. But that's what worked for me, and what works for you might be different. So I wouldn't say um like if someone told you like, oh, read this book, like I wouldn't recommend you like follow it to a T, because your body's different than maybe the people that the author or whoever coached those athletes were maybe a different set of athletes or different body types and whatever. So just do what's best for you and what feels good, I think, is what's most important and what helped me a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I just need to figure out what works best for me in terms of like training. I know I got some time, but I just gotta make sure I keep in mind that those 6 months can go by quick, just like the last time I did a podcast with you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so it's just important. Maintenance work too is important. The rolling and the stretching. I'm in some strength training as well. Rest also, it's very important to rest. Um, it can very easily become very, I don't want to say overwhelming, but just kind of like, I have to do this kind of thing. Like you have to force yourself to go and run or go and to the gym or whatever. But I mean, if your body's not really feeling it, I don't force it. Maybe do something else or find alternative. Or if your body's just completely dead and you have a bike, just go out for a bike ride. You know, just keep the body moving, but don't force yourself to do something that you don't feel like doing.
Mhm.
It's the key to training, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom right there from a former half marathon and full marathon runner
Yep.
coming from experience.
Yeah. I do want to run another one. I just don't know when that would happen and when I would have the time to train like I did. But yeah, it's good that yeah, you're starting now, and do while you have time.
Let me know though. I'd love to, I was thinking of there's a half marathon. It's past Hayward, somewhere around that area. They have like a relay, half marathon relay. So like one person runs like 6, 7 miles and then they're like carrying a baton and they just pass it to the next person. So I was like, I'm
Hmm.
trying to think of who my second runner could be.
How
So
many how many on the team?
it's just two people.
Two
So just,
people?
yeah.
All right. Yeah, let me know. I'm down. Is it like on a trail or is it on the
I think
roads?
I think it's on the roads. I haven't seen like the full map, but
Okay.
they have that option, like either just by yourself doing a half marathon or just, relays. I don't know.
That sounds hella dope. I'd be
It
down.
does. It does. I mean, like it just kind of reminds me of like the 4x4, but just longer.
Yeah, and with two people.
Yeah,
Half the people, but like quadruple the distance. Actually, much, 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 much longer. But yeah, that sounds fun. I'd be
definitely
down.
does.
I'd be down to do like a trail race too. I know there's some good trail races out in the East Bay. Um, and not so much like the crazy like 100 miler races or 50 miler races, just like a 10K or like something, just kind of on a different surface, I think would be fun.
Hmm.
Um, because I'm so used to just running on the roads for like races and stuff, but I think it would be cool to kind of go out on like a trail and experience that. Like I remember doing Ragnar a few years back, and that was really fun in Tahoe, at elevation, which is pretty fun. So yeah, trail races are definitely on my list of things to do
Did
in
you
my
like
life.
notice did you notice like a difference in elevation? Like did your body feel lighter or just heavier like instantly or
Yeah, I mean, you definitely feel it, especially up at Tahoe, where I think we were like 7,000 feet up. So we definitely were up there. You feel slower. Here's the thing. It's kind of funny. So I go out, like we get there and like I'm going out for like just kind of a, I don't want to, not a recovery run, but just kind of like a shakeout run, I guess. I'm sitting in the car so long. And then I remember like feeling I was running super fast. Like my body, like internally, I felt like I was running like 7 minute pace, which for me at that time was really, really fast. Um, but I checked my watch and going like 8:30, like 9 minute. I'm like, what? I feel like I'm going so fast, but that's because, my lungs just weren't adjusted yet. And I guess like it felt like I was running super fast because I wasn't getting as much. I was getting probably as much oxygen in my body as I would when I was running 7 minute pace,
Mhm.
um, which is really interesting to think about. But yeah, it was, you definitely feel it for sure.
Nice. And I know I heard Ragnarok like briefly and knew a little bit about it.
Mm.
It's like a relay or just like you go into the trail.
Yeah,
And
it's a relay. So there's a team, you're on a team of 8 people. And then each person runs each leg. So each person goes 3 times. So there's like 24 different loops total that the team runs. Um, and so there was a easy level, like a shorter, I think it was like 5K, mostly flat trail. And then there was a medium level, which was like, it was the longest loop. It was like 7 miles, but it didn't have as much climbing as the next level up, which is it was called the Red Loop, or the highest tier. And it was shorter. It was like a 10K, but those climbs were ridiculous. Like you're running up this mountain. Um, and like, don't get me wrong, like it was beautiful. Like the views were amazing. Um, but yeah, it was kind of one of the things where it was like everyone was just tired by the end of it. Like I ran the red loop last. Um, so I was already tired because I had, run my first lap at like, oh man, I want to say like 6 in the morning
wow.
on the first day. And then I ran my second loop like that night at like 10. And then the next morning I ran my last loop at like 10 a.m. and it was like really hot. Um, but yeah, it was a good time, and definitely recommend it. Definitely should get a team together if we can find 8 people.
8 people. I mean, you get Martine, you get some of the track boys in CSM. I'm sure we can get a solid 8 people right there.
That'd be dope. I'd be hella down. It gets really hot though, I will admit. Like, and like I had never been camping before, so it was like one of those like first time experiences. Um, where I'm in a tent and I wake up and I'm just really, really hot because I'm in the tent and like the sun's coming up and it's so hot and the sun is like the tent's like trapping all the sun's heat. And so I'm like baking in this tent like the second I wake up and I'm like, ah, dang, here we go.
Dang.
Um, but yeah, and then running in Tahoe at like midnight is something else. It was an experience. I don't know how I knew where to go, or like, I don't know. It was crazy. It
Why
was an experience.
did you have like a headlamp or they like already had like lights on the road or the trail?
Yeah, so I mean they had I had a headlamp, and like there were so many people there that like you could just follow the crowd and you'll be fine. And they also had like little like arrows that like lit up, like kind of pointing in the direction that the trail was going. Um, but so I mean you're fine, but I mean it was just kind of like it was just crazy. Like I really don't remember the trail. I really couldn't see anything. I knew there were some hills. I knew that, I at one point I fell. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I tripped over a tree root. Um, but yeah, other than that, I couldn't tell you like what the trail looked like. I couldn't see anything around me. I just saw like the little like dot in front of me from my headlamp, and then I saw like maybe a few people around me running, but that's other than that, that's really it.
Wow, you weren't
Yeah.
like freaking out? Like I would have been freaking out if I didn't see anything and I'm running. Because like when you're running and like, it's at night, you start getting paranoid because you hear sounds in the background and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many people running that I don't think any animal would have been brave enough to, come and invade. But um, yeah, no, I mean, I think I was fine. I didn't hear anything, and it was pretty, like I said, like it was pretty busy, so there was a lot of noise around, and they had music and stuff. So it wasn't like you were kind of in the woods, like secluded or anything like that, really. But yeah,
So
it was fun. Good experience.
it does sound like a fun experience. 8 people in a tent, camping vibes.
Yeah. Have you been camping or no?
I've never gone camping, so
Mm.
I don't know if I would enjoy it. I think I'd be like paranoid, honestly, like just at night, because I don't know, like some bear or something just walks over to the tent, or I don't know, it just feel like I'd freak out. Just I'm a scaredy cat, all right, so I can't handle that sort of stuff. Get paranoid.
I think they like I don't know what they do, but I think they keep like wildlife kind of out of that area during the event at least. Just to kind of keep everyone safe. But I didn't see any wildlife while I was out there. So
Oh,
yeah, did a
we
pretty good
just
job.
like we just like in a big group of just other teams too. Like,
Yeah, so it's just like everyone kind of it's cool because it's like a little like village almost of tents, and so like you just kind of find like an open space, you set your tent up, and then there's like other teams like around you that are also camping, so it's cool to like kind of socialize with like the other teams that are there, and you know I don't know, it was a good time, it was a good event.
okay. I guess
No
it's not that
showers though.
bad. Oh, they have
No,
showers?
no, no showers.
Oh no.
The only thing. Yeah, yeah, it was rough.
It's a bonding experience. Just runners out there. That's all.
Yeah, just everyone's sweaty, everyone's dirty. There's no showers. It's one of those events.
Well, it's just a once in a lifetime experience. It's different from your usual road races.
That's true, and it's I mean no different than a 100-mile race either, where they're running for like 2 days straight, or like for like a day straight,
But
no
yeah, that's
shower.
true. Oh yeah. Oh, I can't imagine that. 100-mile race. Well,
Crazy.
uh, you know, like you got I don't know, it's really cool to hear from you. Because I know we haven't done this in a while. And I'm glad I got a lot of great advice so I can implement that into my training because I would have no clue what I'm doing. I would just only run and then assume that I'm okay, just like my half marathons, but good looking out. Any sort of like last minute thoughts or anything you'd like to add on to?
Uh, I would just say, just be safe. COVID being how it is, it's never ending. So I don't know, just be safe, make wise decisions, don't overwork yourself. With running, don't overwork yourself, enjoy, listen to your body. And that's pretty much it. That's the key to success right there.
Yes, sir. And then once I finish that full marathon, we got to get some tacos again. Coyote Cafe.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely for sure.
Nice little ritual now after every meet.
Salsa shots.
Yeah, yeah, I gotta make sure. Well, I can PR this. I never ran it, so it'll be a
That's
personal
true.
best.
That's true. You can't do worse than zero. What is your goal? Like what time are you trying to hit?
My goal, I don't know. I think my goal is to get 3 hours and like 20 minutes because for the half marathons I ran like 140.
Mhm.
So I mean, hopefully around 320. At least I
Okay.
want to like, I don't want to go past 3:30. So
Okay.
that's the time I gotta
That's a good
beat.
goal. Yeah, it's a good time. I ran 3:15. So I don't know. You should. I want you to try to beat me. I want
Oh,
you to shoot
okay,
for seven.
okay.
Yeah, 3:15 is a good time.
350. What's that? What's that like?
7:28.
728 per mile?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Or 3 hours and 15 minutes. Okay. Just you wait, Dante. I'm gonna smash that record.
Yeah. I'm giving you the keys too, so I'm gonna let you. I want you to have it. So
Alrighty. Are you gonna be in person? Are you gonna look at the phone, see me slowly cross that finish line virtual?
yeah, yeah. I can probably. I mean, if they live stream it, or I'll like get your like number or whatever, and I'll like type it on the website, and it'll just have you like as like a dot going through the different checkpoints. So yeah, I'll be looking out. I'll be like, feel like I'll text you. I'll be like, Felix, you're behind pace. Pick it up. Like
Don't worry, I'll have my phone with me. I'll be like, oh snap, Dante's texting me.
Felix, Felix, you went too fast on mile 2. Slow down. It's not a sprint.
I accidentally go into like sub 6 pace or something. I'm trying to break some records here.
You start running at like a 1500.
Oh man, yeah, I thought this was like track.
No. Imagine running a marathon on a track.
That's 20
26 miles on a track.
20. I did think about that. I was like, I wonder what that's like because it's 26 miles times 4.
Mhm.
It'd be like 104 laps around the track field. I don't think I could keep track of that.
No, I couldn't either. It's been done. I've seen YouTube videos, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how like you have the mental capacity to run in a circle 104 times and not
Y-
be like just drained from it.
Yeah, I just like can't imagine because like I feel like if you hit that 50 mark, you're like, man, I gotta do this like 50 more times.
Mhm.
Like I don't know, just I don't know how you like keep yourself like sane during that time.
I don't know how people run. Like I feel that way after running like 12 laps. Like running 3 miles on the track, I'm just like, all right, I'm glad that's done. I don't have to think about that anymore. But yeah, I don't know. Like 10K runners on the track, or like people who run marathons, like the crazy people who run marathons on the track. I don't know. I don't know how you keep yourself sane.
I can't imagine because like I don't know, I've ran like some 5Ks for like track. I don't know if that's my event, even though I'm a long distance. Like it's so many laps just around, and then you like lose track of what lap you're at. I don't know. It's an interesting event.
Definitely. You need to be mentally like strong. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't want to keep you I don't want to keep you waiting because you got some stuff to do. But I appreciate you for being on this podcast as always. Love to have you and a couple more because I mean it's only January, so we got plenty of time. We'll squeeze you in there for in the summer for sure, and then maybe some sort of break you get. Would love to have you just check up on you, see what you're doing. I bet you probably already signed up for like a 100-mile bike race by the time I have another podcast with you. We'll
I
see.
might. I might. And then we'll definitely have something to talk about that.
Yeah, give
Uh
some like tips.
something. Yeah, tips on that for sure. But yeah, no, it's been great. Thank you for having me on. Always like coming on the LTA show. I always love
Yes,
talking about running and whatever things, and listening to the topics that you have. So I appreciate the time and the space. And yeah, we'll definitely be willing to hop on. Just let me know. Shoot me a text
you
and let
got
me
it.
know.
I'll just
I'll
let you know. I'm recording. Let's go.
record.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for watching. and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much.
Thank you.